To start using Ag360, go to the home page and click on Create Your Account. You'll get a 21-day free trial to start off with. So first enter your name, phone number, email address, and some further information about your business. Then click on Create Account. The next step is to create your property. So enter the property name, your NLIS, and the address of your property. This is used to locate the property so you can then map out your paddocks. Once you've entered your address, click on Locate, and it will find your position on the map. The next step is to start drawing paddocks. You can do this in two ways. Either upload a shapefile, which is a zip file containing a .shp file, or a KML file, or a KMZ file. Alternatively, you can draw paddocks manually by going to Add Paddock and clicking around the boundaries of the paddock that you want to draw in. Once you've drawn the paddock, click Create, and it will bring up a screen asking for some pasture details about that paddock. The total area of the paddock will be calculated automatically, but you'll need to enter the grazable area of the paddock, which is the area that actually grows pasture. So any areas that have a heavy amount of timber or a creek or a river running through it will need to be excluded. Next, specify the percentage of temperate or tropical/subtropical pasture species. And if you need a little bit more help on this, you can click on this blue info button, which will give you a list of species that fit into each category and further links for more information. The next step is to define the productivity of your pastures. Pasture productivity means the pasture growth rate, the amount of green leaf, the digestibility of that pasture, and the density of that pasture. A zero productivity represents the worst possible pastures in your region, and 100 represents the best possible pastures in your region, growing at its peak in mid-spring after good rain. Adjust the sliders to where you think your pasture type sits in comparison to other pastures in the region, and click on the Refresh Chart button to look at the daily pasture growth rate on a historic basis to help you further fine-tune those productivity sliders. You need to set the productivity slider for both your temperate and your tropical/subtropical species. Next, enter the current pasture availability of that pasture. So this is the total amount of green and dead pasture if you were to cut it down to ground level on a kilograms of dry matter per hectare basis. Enter the date you record that estimate and a target pasture availability. So the way targets work is you need to think about at what point do you need to change your management or make a management decision. Soil fertility can be entered either as an overall figure, whether it be low or high fertility, or you can open up the soil fertility calculator and enter soil test results, which then updates the overall position of the slider bar. Enter the soil type, then click Confirm to save your changes. If you have uploaded paddocks using a shapefile, a KML or a KMZ file, your paddocks will appear as grey shapes on the map, and you'll need to click on each paddock in turn to enter the pasture details before you can proceed. Any paddocks that you don't want to enter information for at this stage, you can delete. And once you have at least one paddock entered, you can save your property. Additional paddocks can be added at a later stage.